Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Finally, I can talk about this mouse. This is the Vaxee XE Small. If you guys are familiar with my channel or been following me for a while, you guys know I absolutely loved the Vaxee XE. It was one of my main mice. I climbed multiple seasons of Apex on this thing. It's a mouse still today that I swap to and just feels exceptionally comfortable if you want kind of a size bracket of the G Pro Superlight, but something that gives you a lot of good under palm contact, a stable base for track heavy games, and something that just has a shape that makes me feel a little bit more locked in than the G Pro. Comparing the Vaxee XE though to its kind of shrunken down baby brother, the Vaxee XE Small, and you can see this isn't just like what a lot of companies do. They come out with these small versions of the mice and they end up looking completely different, feeling completely different. This is just literally a captured essence of the Vaxee shrunken down into baby form. The curves, the features of its overall ergonomics are so similar to its bigger brother, separate and apart from, again, the size. It really does look like a miniaturized baby version of the mouse. But the main difference that you're going to get here is, again, the XE is going to make you want to have a lot more under palm contact and a lot more, I would say, a stable base if you need it for both tack shooters or track heavy games. If you're somebody who wants to get rid of a lot of that under palm contact, or like kind of those instances where you find yourself using a lot of under palm contact, the Vaxee XE Small is a really, really nice fingertip mouse. It kind of just makes it feel like all of that body under the immediate underside of your palm as you are fingertipping is just gone. The inner hand maneuverability as a result of that low profile compared to its bigger brother feels fantastic. It makes it feel somewhat similar to me of the size and shape of the Beast X, or the size and shape, of course, of a ULX Medium. So if you're somebody who really loves a ULX Medium, you're somebody who likes the Beast X, this is a mouse that is worth your time investment to see if it's something that you would perform better on. This mouse is not just a shrunken down Vaxee XE. This mouse is a complete overhaul of the internal structure of the Vaxee XE, making it more moddable, making it much better in terms of an overall weight balance, and the weight differential between the Vaxee XE and the Vaxee XE Small is massive. We're talking about, on my copy of the Vaxee XE with no skates, I come to around 73 grams, and on my Vaxee XE Small, I'm coming in at 58 to 59 grams. It settles around 59 grams with TJ exclusive dots and a center skate compared to a third-party center skate on the Vaxee XE. So we're talking about 14 to 15 grams of weight savings, a modified shape that carries the essence of the XE, but providing a very refreshing feel under the hand, and another banger fingertip mouse on the market. Right now, you guys can see I've got the Wallhack SP-004 with the TJ exclusive skates. I have this pad on my desk right now because the release date of this pad is literally the same day as this video is dropping for the Vaxee XE Small. But what I want to just kind of reiterate is my opinions on this pad have not changed at all. With the plastic skates, I actually like the pad a lot, but it is a little bit louder with plastic skates in comparison to the Akari. I think if anyone was looking for an SP-004, the design version of this is really nice. The blacks, the whites, it kind of has that like neo-noir look to it. And it is a anime pad, but one that doesn't accentuate the bosoms and doesn't look cringe on the desk. I think it has a really nice flavor to it, and it is a very good performing pad next to the Akari, of course, two of my top glass pads right now. And you guys can see the underside of that base is now all red in comparison to the OG. It looks really good. I think it's a limited run, so if you're interested in the design, I just throw that out there because I think the launch is literally at the same time as this video. But getting back to the Vaxee XE, my performance on this mouse is really good, both in tracking and tack shooters. Again, it makes the mouse kind of boil down to the size and shape of the Beast X that I perform very well on. The differences that you're going to feel is in the height of the hump as well as the width of the body. So to me, the Vaxee XE feels about the same in terms of grip width. I feel like the bottom hump here gets a little bit more ergonomic on my thumb compared to the Beast X, and I feel like ever so slightly a little more narrow than the Beast X, and a little bit lower, particularly towards the kind of bridge of the underside of my palm. It's a mouse, though, again, that feels definitely in that same bracket, and in terms of how I grip it, very similar. It's a really good performing mouse at 59 grams. I think it's at a sweet spot for me, and the 4K performance in game has been a complete slayer. It feels really good what they've done here, and the 3950 sensor feels great. But you guys are probably wondering, fresh, with the change to the internal structure, how is the build quality in comparison to the XE? The XE was built like a freaking tank, man. You could throw this at somebody and it would probably break something on them before breaking something on the mouse. There is, however, a little bit of side play on the sidewall on my copy, where if I push really, really hard on this orange copy, it actually actuates the side buttons. There is absolutely no flex otherwise on the entirety of the body. On the Vaxee XE Small, even being smaller than the XE, I can push as hard as I can. No actuation of side buttons. The sidewall does not feel like it's budging at all, and I am pushing very, very hard. This thing is rigid as heck, and the bottom base is very rigid as well. It does not feel like it's flexing inward. So in terms of overall shell build quality, exceptional. The side buttons you can see in comparison to the Vaxee XE are a little bit spaced, and presumably these side buttons being a little bit smaller, maybe they wanted to somehow keep them about the same length overall from the bottom of 4 to the top of 5. In terms of side play on mouse 1 and mouse 2, very little on mouse 1 and just a tiny bit more on mouse 2. I feel no switch grind, and I feel no flexing, no creaking of mouse 1 or mouse 2 while playing in game. The black shell pink dots feel very crispy and very good. The side buttons feel great with minimal, if no pre-travel, and just a very minor amount of post-travel, but nothing that feels like it's going into the shell. And again, on mouse 1 and mouse 2, very little pre-travel, if any at all, and very little post-travel. The only thing that I noticed on this mouse is the scroll wheel is a little bit tight and takes a little bit of force to get it going. Once you get it going, scrolling feels fine. The scroll wheel is a little bit on the scratchier, more noisy side, but overall the steps feel great. And mouse 3 is really poppy and tactile and pretty spammable. Overall, I am very happy and impressed with the build quality of the Vaxee XE, especially for its size and internal structure change, with how rigid it is, even compared to the Vaxee XE. So all I can really convey at the end of the day is that I've had a really nice performance on the Vaxee XE Small. It's something that's been comfortable for me. It doesn't cramp my hands, even though it's a little bit smaller than something that I generally prefer in terms of comfort, like the Pulsar X2H size 2. It is similar in size, again, to the Beast X, so it's an easy crossover if anyone's coming from that size bracket. If you are somebody that knows they like to fingertip, this could also be a really nice option. I know I get asked a lot what I currently am maining, and I don't really have a main. I have to swap so often to test things. But I would say that the mice right now that I would be picking up if I was to go into a tournament right now would be between the Beast X, the Vaxee XE Small, and the Pulsar X2H size 2. I would probably say that I'm 99% more likely than not, I would still perform the best on the Pulsar X2H size 2 because it just does something to my hand, forcing myself into a particular grip that I play very consistent. The smaller mice, because I do have all that extra space on the inside of my hand, they're very fun. I get that extra inner hand maneuverability that I always talk about, and I perform like an animal on both of these mice. But the consistency is really what I still just find myself going back to on the Pulsar X2H. It's kind of taken over the G Pro Superlight spot for me as that kind of consistent thing that I would pick up when I need that extra bit of performance. Otherwise, I am having an absolute blast on these three mice. This is what gets the most gameplay right now on my desk. I hope this video helped, guys, and if it did, please leave a sub to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.